Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Let's Get Loud podcast. This is a solo podcast episode with A. How is everyone? I was trying to think about where I left you guys off last week, and I think I recorded right after we told Alfie about taking him to New York City. It's crazy to think that that has only been a week. So, what's been going on with me? Oh, guys, I am just so awesome right now. I will tell you that I really, really thrive off of routine and structure. Now, does everyone thrive off of routine and structure? That's a really important question. I don't know, but I know that I do. And I'm very much appreciating my family going to school, me doing my work, me being in my home with my meals. I meal prepped last week. I meal prepped on this Sunday. Holy moly, was that worth it? I was a little grumpy while I was meal prepping, if I'm going to be really honest, but it was like I'm going to remind myself of how much I appreciated that this week. And I don't ever want to say that one thing is the reason for my success. I don't like that, but I will acknowledge that meal prepping is a tool that 100% impacts my level of consistency with my nutrition. It just does. Like, take it or leave it. Do it or don't. But I think that if you pretend it doesn't help with consistency, you're lying. Wow, that was kind of like, anyways, who cares about, how about I just talk about me? This is my time. So I meal prepped. I did some rice and I did, what else did I do? I did pumpkin chocolate chip muffins. I did energy balls. I did black bean brownies. I actually said to the kids that I wanted to step up the lack of processed foods in their life. And actually, I thought they'd be like, they're all like, okay. And I was like, okay. Not that it's a big deal, but just it felt like the next step for me, for them. And instead of like a little mini chocolate bar in their lunch, because I have for sure passed on to my family, my children, the routine of having dessert after every meal. There's no question. And so they were having like a mini chocolate bar. Nothing wrong with that. But here's my perspective on this. Every time that they are putting food in their little bodies, it is an opportunity to nourish them. And so I could replace that with a black bean brownie and they're getting more protein, they're getting more fiber, they're getting nutrients. It's like it has purpose. And so that's just it's not that, a mini chocolate bar is bad or chocolate is bad. It's not about the calories. My intention really behind this change is just overall health, wellness, and nutrition. And that's where I'm going. So it just makes sense that that's where they're going. Anyways, everyone loved everything. I made a massive thing of spaghetti. And then the next day we barbecued and I barbecued like chicken, burgers, sausages. So I just had that and it just made this week feel so easy. And can we just talk about anything feeling easy while it's back to school and it's sports and all the things? So I'm just like reminding myself of how much I love that. It's almost like the same thing as the morning gym. Like I'm at the gym again in the morning. I'm like, why did I not go? Oh, I went. Guys, it feels like I've been back forever. I think I told you I was going to go back on the last podcast. I've done 3 days this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Super proud of myself. Felt so good. Didn't overthink it. Got up at 5 a.m., got my ass to the gym, and it felt so good. So I'm just like back in my regular routine and just feeling so good. Are you getting that vibe? Now, of course, I'm going away tomorrow. Now, that doesn't mean anything, but it does break the momentum a little bit. Doesn't mean I'm going to go off the deep end, but like I'm not going to have that same routine. And I'm actually going away like 2 weekends in a row. So I'm going away tomorrow. I'm going to New Orleans. I've never been. It's a Shackley trip, and I'm going for 3 sleeps. It's a time to connect with the top 25 ambassadors in the company, and I am going to go to dinner and 2 days while we're there. We have one morning of meetings and then 2 afternoons we are volunteering at like soup kitchens in New Orleans. So it's like a Shackley Cares trip is what it's called. So it's all about giving back and connecting with other top leaders in the company. So I am very excited. I have my outfits picked out. I just have to like finalize my packing, but I pretty much have everything picked out. Today I'm just like finishing up work stuff, having a shower, getting the family organized. I already wrote out a list of like where everyone needs to be at what times and which moms need to be contacted. I notified all the moms that Neil's in charge for the weekend. So I just have some last minute things to do. And then my flight leaves at like six something tomorrow, which I'm grateful for. The Toronto flight's five something. The six something Montreal flight, I feel like is going to be better. Just doing carry on, so it should be easy peasy. This is my first trip though, since I've been, an ambassador for brands. So that's been like 3 years now, 3.5, that I'm going totally by myself. And I don't want to say I'm scared. I'm anxious, but if I'm honest with myself, I'm always anxious during when I travel. Like or just in general. I definitely have quite a high level of anxiety, but especially when I travel. So you know what? Sometimes I remind myself, I'm like, oh, you're anxious because you're traveling by yourself. No, you're anxious because you're Alicia. Because if you weren't traveling by yourself, you'd find something else to be anxious about. So, you know what I've been reminding myself? This is out of your comfort zone, and that's where real growth happens. And you're going to build some skills and some confidence, and you're going to put your big girl panties on. And it's funny because like when I travel with my friend Chelsea, who we travel with often, I travel with her often. When it's just the two of us, usually I'm the adult. Like sometimes we share it, but like for the most part, I'm the adult. So it's not like I don't know what's up. Like I got this, but I'm gonna have to like go in an Uber by myself. And then like when I get to the hotel, do I like walk around by myself? I walk into a room by myself. Like it's going to force me out of my comfort zone, and I think it's going to be an incredible experience. So my goal is to be mindful while I am there. I have this terrible history of looking forward to my trips so much, but then when I'm on my trips, I'm not being present and in the moment. I'm like thinking about what's happening at home. I have like other work obligations, and something I looked forward to so much for so long, and then I'm not like in it. So the last time I went away, I think it was to Chicago. I really, really set a goal to be mindful and present in the moment, and it worked so well. I really tried to give away, like sometimes I'm like, oh, it's fine. I can work while I'm on the road, which I can because I can work from anywhere. But I also need to be honest that it is taking away from the experience of where I am and what I'm doing. Oh, I just had a moment where I'm like, maybe I'll buy myself a magazine. Should I buy myself a magazine? Do people make magazines? Are there still magazines? I think I'm gonna get myself a magazine for the airport, the flight. Is that fun? All by myself. No one to talk to. Okay. So, what was I talking about? Oh, mindfulness. And this is something I've tried to bring into like my life when I'm at home as well, because I'm just terrible for moving on to the next thing and not just like sitting and being present. Anyway, so I'm going to really work on that this trip. Know that the kids are safe and taken care of and happy. And even as little as like not being like, okay, I'll call you at this time, almost being like, I'm going to be super busy. I'm going to be in meetings all day. I do not know if we'll be able to connect. Send me a text to tell me about your day and I love you. And then if I have an opportunity that doesn't take me out of the moment to FaceTime them, I can, but I don't have to. So that's been a really good strategy for me for being mindful and present. So, anyways, wow, I'm going away and I'm really looking forward to it. So, all this to say though, I'm like giving myself a pep talk about breaking my momentum. And I don't know if there's a gym in the hotel we're staying at. I would guess that there is. I thought I still can go to the gym. I don't really want to put that like pressure on myself that I have to, but I absolutely can. And I might make that a priority. So there's that, I can still get my movement in. We're going to be on our feet for hours at a time. I can still get my steps in. We're going out for dinner, which I know that I can choose appropriately at a meal. There's so many options, right? That I don't have to overindulge just because I'm going out to eat. So I know I have control. So what I did do though is planned for when I get back. I've never done this before, but I ordered a local company called Vibrant Meals, and they do like it's a meal prep service, and they deliver. That's my love language. And they have all the nutritional breakdown because I wanted, reasonable calories, high protein is how I've been eating. And I have four meals, yeah, being delivered on Monday, which I think is so smart. I get back on Sunday night at like 9 p.m. So I'll be super grateful to have my lunches for the week all ready to go, nutrient dense, da 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 da. Anyways, I'm excited about that. So the 20-day reset. It's actually day 10 today. So we are halfway through the 20-day reset. And I think that I was sharing this with you guys last week, which only would have been day 3, but I cannot believe how great I feel after 10 days. I have been just loving the reconnection, the extra focus on my overall health and wellness. I've been feeling more energetic. My inflammation is lower. I've lost weight on the scale, and I just feel so good. And it hasn't been anything drastic. I actually haven't had a perfect day yet. So how I set this up is there's 4 pillars. So there's nutrition, movement, mind, and lifestyle. So my nutrition was to hit 140 grams of protein a day. My movement was to hit 20K steps a day. My mind was to journal every day. And my lifestyle was to drink 3 liters of water a day. And I haven't had a day yet that I've been able to check off all 4 categories. So it just goes to show you that it doesn't have to be perfect in order for you to have progress. And just really the importance of like taking that pressure off yourself to be perfect and to just like show up. Just progress is better and it's enough to get closer to your goals. So that was your little reminder to not worry about perfection. Like me going away, knowing I can't be perfect while I'm gone used to completely derail me, used to completely spiral me. I would maybe not even like start because I knew I was going away, which is so ridiculous because one, I can still do most of those things while I'm away, right? I can still show up in a way that aligns with my focus, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. So today's part of the 20-day reset that I've obsessed with and will find a way to continue. I just haven't figured out what it's going to look like yet. So if you're a member and you're listening to this, feel free to give me some suggestions. But I've been writing in my journal every day this year, not every day. Most days of 2025, I wrote in a journal. And I really enjoyed it. But for the 20-day reset, I created prompting, reflecting questions for everyone for each day. And I've really enjoyed that extra prompt to reflect differently. Because without that prompting, reflecting question, I would find that it would just turn into like the day to day, like, what are you doing? What are you going to eat? When are you going to move your body? What else is on your to do list? Check the things off. And it was more like robotic and not really like asking myself, like, why? And today's question I loved. It was, if I keep going, what will be possible for me in 3 months? And I was like, oh, what a great question. And I think it's so powerful. It is so powerful because this question reminds you that all you need to do if you want to be successful is keep going. That's literally the secret, you guys. You want to change your life, you want to lose weight, you want to keep going. Keep going. So it was a really nice reminder. It just felt like clarity this morning. So I wrote for myself, what if I keep going, what will be possible for me in 3 months? Gain strength, lose weight, reduce inflammation, increase energy. And then as I wrote that down, I asked myself, why wouldn't I keep going? The only time that I allow anything else in my life, I've realized it's based on convenience. And this is something I think I shared with you guys from last week, that I realized when I was making choices that didn't align with the nutrient, the values, the focus that I'm looking for when it comes to my nutrition, it was just because the other option was easier. It was faster. So that's why I meal prepped this week. So I was like, how can I make this easier? How can I make this faster? And I've been asking myself that. And so, again, asking myself, why wouldn't I keep going? I don't know. I don't know why I wouldn't keep going. Maybe I can't answer that question right now because it's so clear to me what my path is. And there's, three key things that I identified that have been crucial for me during this process is meal prep, having things prepped. I don't want to say I have to because I don't, because that lends to should, and that gives power to something that I don't always have control over. But I'm like choosing my words so carefully. It's so annoying. But meal prep is a massive tool for me. It is a tool. Early gym sessions, also a tool. Like when I get up and get the gym in early, I have stronger days. When I meal prep, I have stronger days. When I journal in the morning, I have stronger days. So I am committed to continuing with meal prep, early morning gym, and journaling. These are three habits. Let's talk about habits quick. I was at a conference once and someone said this and they said when you're trying to make changes in your life, the very first time you do it, it's an event. So the first time I meal prepped in a long time on Sunday was an event. Like where's my certificate? Where's my award? Where's the parade? And then eventually it becomes a habit. But then even deeper becomes a standard. So I would like to work towards finishing 2025 with meal prepping, early morning gym sessions, and journaling to be my standard, to be my most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. I would like for it to get to a point where it doesn't feel difficult, where it doesn't feel like it requires a lot of resources. And I would say the only one right now feels like that for me is like meal prep. So I just haven't quite found like my system, but I'll get into it. I'll figure it out. And it's perfect timing because come September 21st, Jose and I are unlocking a new program and it's going to be all about aligning your habits with your vision, your focus, your goal. Have you ever found yourself and you didn't meal prep on the Sunday and then you woke up Monday, you're like, oh, why did I do that? Or you found yourself on Friday night ordering, two large pizzas and eating it all in one sitting and telling yourself you're going to start again tomorrow. And then you spiral Saturday and Sunday and then you start again Monday, right? And then you go, oh, why did I do that again? That's a habit. You've created habits and we're going to work on, and you're like, that doesn't align with who I want to be. That is not in alignment with my focus and my vision. So we're going to talk about making sure that how to make sure your actions align with your focus most of the time. So I'm super excited to go into fall. This reset is giving me exactly what I wanted. It was like a launch pad into my fall goals. And now it just feels unstoppable. I am excited. And listen, I didn't even drink coffee today. So don't even, or a pre-workout. Well, I had a pre-workout, but I was at like 5 a.m. It's definitely worn off. Don't come at me and be like, ooh, you were all like high on coffee. No, I wasn't. I was high on momentum, high on life. Okay. Anyways, I am just feeling so great and I wanted to share that with you guys. And I'm going to keep you posted. I'll give you the full results. Well, next week will not be the full results of will it? Oh, I'm recording this a little early. That's why next Friday is almost the last day of the 20-day reset. So I'll be able to give you guys some results. Do you want some scale results? I'll give them to you. I'll give you the tea and we're going to talk about what's next. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, I remember what I was going to ask you guys. If you were a member, how can I continue to give you journal prompts? I don't want to, do we have another page? Do we love this page? Do we need another template? Do I just post a journal prompt on the community group every day? How can we continue with our daily journal prompts? Give me some ideas, a way that I can manage it and you guys can see it and it feels easy for everyone. Okay, everyone, have an amazing weekend and we will talk soon.